The following is an encore presentation of CKRZ.
Sonics 100.3 FM. Your station, your nation.
The comments heard on the following presentation are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Sonics Incorporated or CKRZ-FM. Well, thank you so much for making CKRZ a part of your day. Thank you so much for joining us. And as promised, we are back live with Six Nations Life Chief Mark Hill, who is here for his weekly pandemic updates.
Good afternoon, Hal. How are you?
Sego Mark, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you. I apologize for being late for today's update. I was having a phenomenal conversation with a group of elders, so that's the reason why I was late. So
you can't miss those opportunities.
That's right. Okay, so Scano, Sego, good afternoon, Six Nations. I hope this message finds you healthy and safe. October is here, and today marks the 205th day that Six Nations of the Grand River has been in a state of community emergency. Today's updates are a bit extensive, so if you can please bear with me as I go through them, each of them for you. So number one, a reminder to everyone that the COVID-19 Information and Assessment Center are booking COVID-19 tests for community members only at this time on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The Oswego Public Health are preparing for the upcoming flu vaccine clinics and immunization campaigns, so we ask that you keep an eye for more updates to come as that information becomes more available. And also a reminder that unmonitored private gatherings are reduced now to 10 indoors and 25 for outdoors. However, gatherings are definitely not recommended at this time, especially with the rising cases within our community. The next update involves a free COVID-19 education video resource for our community. And again, these videos can be viewed on our YouTube and Facebook social media channels. They consist of 4 education sessions within this resource, and it's truly a great way to gather knowledge on how to keep safe during COVID-19 pandemic. Yesterday evening, we released some unsettling news regarding 5 new cases of COVID-19 in our Six Nations territory. Within 24 hours, 3 new lab-confirmed positive cases and 2 probable cases have been reported by our Oswego Public Health Office. A probable case is when a person has been identified as having a high-risk exposure or is in close contact with a confirmed positive case and is symptomatic but have declined testing to confirm, and again are treated as a positive case by our Oswego Public Health. Contact tracing is underway by Oswego Public Health, and each of the identified contacts have been provided with the appropriate public health guidance based on their level of contact. Again, thanks and yawa to the ongoing work of our Six Nations Assessment Center. Individuals have been in self-isolation since onset of symptoms. These latest 5 positive cases brings the total number in Six Nations since the beginning of the pandemic to 21. Since the pandemic began, the Six Nations COVID-19 Information and Assessment Center have completed 1,946 tests, and of those tests, 1,821 were confirmed negative cases. This increase in cases indicates COVID-19 is still very much here in Six Nations, and we are at a point in the pandemic where cases may now be community acquired, which is when the source of the virus cannot be easily identified, urging the community to follow the core health principles. Six Nations members are reminded that as a largely populated First Nations, we are automatically at a heightened risk of contracting, spreading and fighting the virus for various reasons, such as lack of access to clean water, overcrowded housing, and underlying health conditions. If you have high-risk people living within your household, you must conduct continual risk assessments when thinking of leaving your home and community. The guidance and educational pieces out there, and that we ask you to continue to provide such for the community, and are requesting the community to please follow these measures. We must remain vigilant, and we cannot let our guard down, and we must continue to protect our people. We ask that you please reconsider any Thanksgiving or Halloween or other plans that you have for gathering with friends and family in the near future. We know that everyone wants life to get back to normal, but we need to be extra cautious at this time, especially if you or anyone in your household is vulnerable due to being elderly or, again, having underlying health conditions. My next update comes from the Oswego Public Health around contact tracing. So the Oswego Public Health are reminding the community of their responsibility when it comes to contact tracing, a tool that continues to prove extremely effective in finding and containing the COVID-19 virus, but only when an infected person can list the people that they have been in contact with over the past 14 days. Contact tracing and self-isolation are not punishment. The public health nurses are not passing any judgment on anything you have done. They are simply trying to contain the virus from spreading further, thereby saving lives. My last update is a reminder for the community on the core health principles, which are staying home when ill or keeping your child home from school when ill, even with mild symptoms. We continue to maintain physical distance by keeping at least 2 meters from others outside of your immediate household, and that we wash our hands regularly with soap and water or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer if soap and water are not available. We ask that you continue to wear a face covering when in public places or when physical distancing is a challenge or where it is mandatory to do so, and that we clean and disinfect commonly touched or high traffic surfaces within our homes and at work to minimize the spread of germs and the virus. Again, we want to be clear that we don't want to incite fear. However, we do need to incite the reality that we still very much are in a worldwide pandemic, and that we need to take these necessary precautions in order to protect all of our people here at Six Nations. Again, I want to move into a reminder. So that's my COVID-19 update. So we'll continue to provide updates via our social media channels, as well as these updates to our community, so that we can again make sure that our community is well aware as to what's happening specifically within COVID. Reminder that as of this Monday, that our lands and membership office has been reopened. There are no walk-ins at this time, and you must call to book an appointment. Again, there are some safety protocols that are in place at the office, and we ask that you visit our social media pages and our website for the full list of what those safety protocols look like. Again, this upcoming week, you would have seen over this past week's road work being done on 5th from Keegan Road to Cheeseford Road. That road resurfacing project is set to be completed this upcoming week. So you'll see that be finished hopefully by the end of next week. The community giveaway at KO Lane is coming up on Monday and Tuesday, October 5th and 6th from 10 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. The giveaway consists of turkey, ham, and a supply box. Again, we want to thank many generous community donors who have made this possible. And again, just to remind that there is a limit of one per household. So again, that's the community giveaway coming up this Monday and Tuesday, October 5th and 6th at 20 KO Lane. We also, again, want to reminder to everyone that people can pass the virus unknowingly for 2 days before his or her symptoms start. So community members are strongly encouraged to monitor yourselves for symptoms of COVID-19 on a constant basis. Community members wanting to book a test are asked to call the Six Nations COVID-19 Information and Assessment Center. You could be, the numbers are 226-446-9909 or toll free at 1-855-977-7737. At that time, a nurse and or a physician will determine if a test is needed while they assess you over the phone. You will also be given instructions on how to prevent the transmission of this virus within your home. Again, asking that we please remember that any person or home under self-isolation should not receive any visitors. The 14-day self-isolation is still very much in effect for those community members returning home from traveling across the border. We also ask that you please be cautious when traveling in the nearby COVID-19 hotspot areas, and these areas include the Toronto, Peel region, Brampton, and Ottawa areas. Again, I wanted to also provide an update as to where council has been this past week. So as of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, our full council was in a retreat. And the goal really behind that retreat was to look at strategic planning, to look at visioning and looking to next steps and what could be accomplished over this term of the 58th. Obviously, also look to some internal conflicts and airing of grievances. We figured that we need to come together as a council more closely and work more respectively of each other. And so we've committed to just that. So again, on behalf of the Six Nations, the Grand River elected council, we just want to bring forward just what was the outcome of that retreat. And again, it's brought unity of purpose and a renewed commitment to improve our governance processes and quality decision making. And more specifically, we commit to developing a clear long-term vision inclusive of our Haudenosaunee values, as well as affirming our personal commitment to, again, work more effectively as a collective, so that we can make better decisions guided by our values and priorities and articulated in the Six Nations Community Plan and further articulated in a long-term strategic plan. We also commit to developing more appropriate mechanisms to support good decision-making supported by the administration, as well as ensuring positive relations within the community and other stakeholders. Also, we commit to greater accountability and regular communication on our successes, our challenges, and our aspirations in advancing a community while supporting our long-term vision. So, it was a really good retreat. We had the opportunity again to really to focus in over these next few years and what we truly can accomplish. We know that there's much work to do in the communication area. We want to be able to commit to informing our members and being so that our people are a part of the decision-making process. We have many things happening within this community, and as we see with the I don't know if you got to catch or not the presidential debate, which was very, to my opinion, very sad state of leadership. And we see what the world is, how divided the world is. The last thing that we need to be here is divided. And so if we can continue to work on that division and to be respectful as we move forward in such hard conversations and dialogue that's needed, we really are committing to that. And we want to make sure again that we do things differently. We do politics and business differently, and we want to make things change for the better. And that's exactly what that retreat was about. So I just wanted to say nyawa and thank you for listening to my update this week. And I look forward to next week as I come back and provide more information as it becomes more available.
Thank you for joining us this week, Chief Phil. And thanks to all of you again. Stay safe and have a healthy week ahead. The comments on the program you've just heard were those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Sonics Incorporated or CKRZ-FM.
There are certain rules. Hey, Alexa, what are we listening to?
We are listening to Sonics Radio, CKRZ, 100.3 FM. Your station, your nation.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
The program you've just heard was an encore presentation of CKRZ.